Hi everyone.
Hello.
This is Michael Sanders of the Michael Sanders Go See Show. And my lovely Go See of the day is Amanda
Mondale. Hi.
Mondale from Forward Models.
Yes.
Now, is that an English, Scots, Irish name?
Norwegian.
Norwegian, Mondale. Mm-hmm. That's so funny. How far back does that go?
I think my great something moved to the U.S. in 1840.
Wow, what part? East Coast?
Minnesota.
Minnesota, where they go. Which is where they go.
Yeah, there's a lot of Scandinavians.
So you're not blonde?
No, I was.
You were
growing
blonde?
up, yeah.
Oh, right, and it came in like my
Just sort
daughter.
of,
Tallulah is blonde,
She'll
and
probably
now
turn brunette.
she's going darker like you are.
Yeah. I mean,
That's cool. So you don't talk necessarily like a Minnesotan.
it's in there.
It comes
Like,
out?
oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So you were born in Minnesota. What town?
Mm-hmm. What's that?
What town were you born in?
Minneapolis.
Princestown.
Mm-hmm.
That's wicked. Were you aware of his presence?
Absolutely, like, and when you grow up there, it's like Prince.
Is it
I went to
really?
his concert when I was little.
Do you know where Paisley Park Studios?
It's in Chanhassen.
So you
my
know
dad
where it
lives.
is? That's where your dad lives?
Yeah, I haven't been there, but I guess over the Super Bowl and everything, it's been like
That's
a lot of
great.
people visiting.
Wow. Okay, so who are your parents? What do they do? What's their names?
My mom, her name is Pam.
Mm-hmm.
She has her own jewelry line that she's just sort of
Cool.
starting up in Miami.
So she lives in Miami now?
She in the winter, her and her boyfriend
Oh.
spend the winters in Miami.
Okay, that's nice.
And I honestly don't really know what my dad does.
Is he a
just got a new
businessman?
job. Yeah, he wears a suit and everything.
He does.
Yeah.
Did he always go out in the mornings on a 9-to-5 job kind of basis?
Yeah, or like to another country for like 2 weeks or...
Oh, right. So quite
Yeah.
mysterious in that sense.
Yeah, I know he just got a new job and we're not very close, so I don't really...
Okay, so tell me
Yeah,
about your
sure.
siblings before we get into the family dynamics. Do you have any brothers and sisters?
I'm
and
the
sisters?
middle. I have an older brother who works in politics. He works for Amy Klobuchar, who's a senator from
Oh, wow.
Minnesota. And my sister just graduated from Missoula. She is an artist and she's really talented, but she's just starting, so.
Did you suffer from the middle child syndrome? And what does that? Define it for us.
You get picked on.
By whom?
The others.
Oh, right. They
this is the
gang
older and the younger
up
one.
on you.
Yeah. Yeah, they would beat me up, or
They beat you up.
my sister would steal my clothes, and my brother would steal whatever I had in my piggy bank, or
Right.
just
So it's a
punch
tough
me.
spot.
Yeah, but now we're all like adults, so we're.
You get on now.
Yeah,
So
pretty
you're
well.
saying it was quite a fractious, warring family early on?
I think it was pretty normal for siblings to be like that.
Right. You know nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, my sister and I hated each other until like 2 years ago.
Oh my God.
So,
You see, that's what always worried
rivalry.
me about having a second child, is that I would hear from so many people who said,
so you have one.
I have one, the princess.
Well, maybe if you had another one, it would be a boy, and it would
Well,
prevent
didn't
a lot of issues.
so it was between the two girls. You were competitive.
She just she would steal all my clothes and pretty much everything, and give it to her friends.
And as the baby, was she favored by your parents because she was the youngest?
Yeah, I think so. In some ways, we all kind of had our own things going on, and she was in theater, so she was like always like, look at me.
Oh, wow.
And I was pretty quiet.
Has that reversed at all, given that you're...
No.
She's still an extrovert.
She's still
Craving attention?
not craving attention. She just gets it. She's just like a free
Yeah.
spirit. I
So
guess
what
I
is she
would
going to
say.
do in her life?
Well, she's gonna be an artist. She just made her first like big sale.
Oh, wow.
I guess you could say
Wicked.
custom piece.
Is she jealous of your success?
No,
Would-
I think she knows how hard I've worked. And
Are you doing what she would quite like to do?
oh God, no,
No.
no.
She has no desire. Is she proud of
No.
what you're doing?
She hates Instagram. She doesn't like
Oh.
read magazines and stuff. She's proud of what I'm doing, and she knows I've been doing it for a long time. And I think she compares my success to hers, but she's she's just making her first piece.
Right,
So,
sure.
I mean,
Exactly.
She's just like, wow, like I want to work hard like that.
Right. So how were you? How were you as a child? Just define how your personality was.
I was very quiet.
What star sign are you?
I'm Pisces.
You are, okay.
Yeah. So dreamy.
Yeah.
Quiet. Kind of go with the flow.
You went with the flow.
In the last couple of years, I've been learning how to stand up for myself.
Right.
And speak my mind.
Because they're notoriously wishy-washy.
They're
not, right? They go with the other people's
there's
demands.
a lot of times
They fit in a lot, don't they?
I mean, I don't know if I really fit in very much, but I was always really quiet, and
did you
I
do
don't really mind
sports
it.
and stuff at school?
Yes, I grew up
'Cause
playing
that's-
ice hockey.
Right, wicked. Isn't that so aggressive?
It is. I mean, the girls can't they can't check and stuff, but it happens, and
Did you get
kind of
hurt?
got my aggression out.
You did.
Yeah, I did definitely.
That's amazing. So what ages were you on the ice?
I started when I was maybe 4, because in Minnesota you just, as soon as you could
Right.
walk
Oh,
or
yeah.
crawl, just get them on the ice.
Uh-huh.
So I started then because my brother played.
Okay.
And then
Did you go to watch him play? Is that how it happens?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but it's just like Minnesota is the state of hockey.
Right.
So
Okay.
everyone at least tries it at some point.
As a family, you would go and support they would go to game.
Yeah, my grandparents were at every game, even when we were
Wow.
this big.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But then I was given the opportunity to model.
Okay, so tell me about that story. How did that start?
It's kind of random.
I like they're always random.
So my uncle at the time was dating a woman who used to be a model. And she had some photographer friends, and they wanted to take pictures of me and my friends in our hockey gear for some art thing.
Right.
And
For an art project.
something in Minneapolis. We were blowing bubbles, and then we took some pretty pictures at the end, and my mom sent them to everyone on the planet. And one of her friends was dating Carson from Queer Eye.
Oh wow.
Do you remember him? And
I did. He was the blonde.
Yeah.
He was the sort of star of the show, was he not?
yeah, and I think he used to be a casting director for Ralph Lauren or
Is that
something
right?
like that. So he sent my pictures.
Hang on. How old were you when all this happened?
I was 14.
Okay.
So they I met with an agency out here, and I brought my friends just thinking it'd be a fun trip. And
Okay, so you were
Nothing would
14.
happen.
Before that, had you had any idea about modeling, the business, fashion? Were you?
I'd been approached as a
You
kid.
had. That's what I was going to say.
stuff.
Because you were obviously pretty. As a child, did you consider yourself
I
as
was
such?
a cute kid, I guess.
You were cute.
Yeah.
You liked the way you looked.
I was very painfully shy, though.
Mm.
And I remember we were in Paris, and someone came up to me, my mom, and then we got back to Minnesota. She was like, "Do you want to do this?" And I said, no way, I want to play hockey. Because there was a girl in my class who started modeling. And, okay, we were maybe 7 or 8. And she just thought she was so cool.
Yes.
And everyone was kind
They
of
didn't
mean
like
to
her.
her. Yeah.
Yeah, they were
I
jealous.
was like, I don't really want to
Have that
do
fire.
that. But it just kind of kept coming back around, and
That's
they
it.
wanted to sign me, and then I did the Abercrombie Kids.
Hang on. When you say they,
Click Models.
was that a local agency? Or-
That was here in
That
New
was
York.
here in New York.
It's not
okay.
here anymore.
So it was who you knew. Friends of
Yeah.
friends, connections, pictures sent. How did you feel about it at that time?
I just thought, are these people crazy? I can't believe I'm doing this.
You didn't see yourself in that light.
I just thought, a lot of people, when your mom's like, you're such a good singer,
Yes, exactly.
or something like that. I'm like,
You're the best.
my mom thinks
Right.
I'm really pretty.
Right.
I don't know. It just sort of happened, and then.
So you hadn't had feedback from your peers, from boys. This is sort of teenage
I was,
years. Were you a
hanging
popular
out with
girl?
the boys.
You were. Boys liked
yeah,
you.
I was riding my Razor scooter around the neighborhood, and just whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I love going home to hang out with. I'm still friends with all those
Right.
people, and they don't think of me as oh, you're a model or anything,
Right.
and it's just
Okay. So you were excited at least by all these new prospects?
I was really excited and shocked.
What was the first job?
Abercrombie Kids.
That was your first job?
Yeah. So I mean, Abercrombie was like
That's
so
freaking
huge
all-American.
too. Yeah.
I mean, you looked like that, and you
I mean,
had
that's
all
what
the
they said to
pedigree.
me when I
You
was
had
there.
played hockey, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
You were the real thing.
Yeah, but I had no idea what I was getting into.
Do you remember?
I just was really nervous.
Who was the photographer? It wasn't Bruce Weber.
It was Bruce Weber.
It was flipping Bruce.
I had no idea who he was, which thank God, or I would have acted
Been
like
really,
an idiot.
really nervous.
But I mean, like Jennifer Lawrence was there. She was one
wicked.
of the other models.
Was she really? I didn't know she was a model.
Yeah, I mean, we were the youngest ones there, so we kind of like.
How old was she? So you were 14.
I was 14, maybe she was 15 or 16,
Wow.
and she was telling me she was doing acting classes and
At
stuff.
that time.
Yeah, and I was like,
wicked. Did she have charisma?
absolutely. Like, I remember everyone wanted to like hang out with her, and she was just like not nervous at all, and I was like, oh my God, I need to be more like that.
Because you come across, I must say, as very confident.
Well, that's why I say I've come a long way. I mean,
Right.
I
How
used
old are you
to
now?
be sick. I'm 26.
Okay, so you've had some life between now and then.
Absolutely.
So you
lot.
were shy.
Yeah, I still can be. More in like a social setting. There's a lot of people. I'm like,
Yes, sure. Right.
I'm good. But at work, I don't know. It's like this other person. It's like
Clicks in,
boom,
your professional
I'm
self.
ready. Yeah.
Okay, so the Abercrombie. How was Bruce? Was he
He
shooting
was-
film? Do you remember?
It was. I remember it was so weird because we were all on the beach and they brought us
Where?
bikes in Key West. And they brought us bikes and footballs and all this stuff, and all of a sudden everyone started laughing really hard and like pushing each other around, but I didn't see anyone filming us. And then I looked like in the distance and Bruce Weber's like in a bush.
No.
And I just was like, I don't know what.
They were laughing at
to-
Bruce in the bush.
No, they weren't laughing at him. They were modeling. Like all of a sudden everyone started
modeling.
And everyone knew he was there, but I didn't. And I was just like, what is going on? Everyone's acting so weird.
Wow, that's so weird. So no one was giving you direction.
Not at that moment, but I mean, yeah, there were times where they definitely were.
Did he
shot
come out of
everyone
his
individually.
bush?
He came out, yeah. He
he
did
have a
everyone individually too.
Did he have a bandana on his head?
He did.
And it was a blue bandana or red? Do you remember?
I think, I couldn't tell you, but I'm sure I have a picture somewhere. My dad was there, like.
Your dad was there?
taking- Yeah, because I mean, I was
You were
so
so
young.
So you were chaperoned from for how long?
During the trip, or?
Well, just generally, did your parents come along with you?
I think it's different now. Legally, I think kids have to have their parent around more.
That's right.
With me, I think he only came
and
to 2 jobs.
ironically, Bruce has been part of this whole change in the industry.
Yeah, and
You were okay. You were a girl.
I was okay. I think he just didn't have any awareness for how young I was.
Ah,
So, I did cry.
you
I
cried.
mean, not on set.
At what point did you cry, and why did you cry?
I had to like not kiss a guy, but I had to like lay on top of him, and he was much older than me, and I had never
Wow.
even made out with a boy before.
You were a virgin at this point.
I was like a baby lamb. Yeah,
To the slaughter.
yeah, and
That was a real baptism of fire being on a Bruce Weber set.
yeah, but I didn't tell my dad. I don't know. I'm not bashing him. I just think he didn't know how young we all were
Oh,
and everything.
so your dad was
You know?
literally there watching what was going on?
I told my dad, "Can you go away? You're embarrassing me."
Ah.
Because none of the other parents
would it
were
have
on
been
set.
different if he had been there?
I think so.
Would the embarrassment have been worth the saving you from the feelings of
Now, as a
no?
grown-up, yes. But I didn't want to tell my dad that happened because he would have said,
That's
okay,
it for
we're
modeling.
going back.
That's
Yeah.
it, you're done.
Yeah, so, I mean,
Wow,
there's
so you-
been a lot of things that have happened over the years
There
that
have.
I never wanted to tell my parents because I didn't want to
Wow.
be sent home to
So
like
do you
work
think
at
you were-
Starbucks or something.
Were you vulnerable? Because I speak to models all the time, and
Mm-hmm.
it's very rare that they say that they've had an encounter that they felt uncomfortable in. And you're saying that there were a number.
I mean, I've always lied about that. I don't know. if some girls really haven't, but I mean, it.
Right. So what?
I think
It
it
happened.
can have a negative effect on your career if you start
Speaking out.
talking about things. And
Okay, now do you put this down to the fact that you were so young starting out and therefore vulnerable and unprotected?
I think it's the older I get, the less it happens. So
You think
Yeah.
it's about that assertiveness and confidence?
yeah, it's like, well, now I would just leave or say, no, I'm not taking my top off or whatever.
Right.
So
So it was usually those kinds of things that would happen. You were put into situations where you were like, exposing yourself.
yeah, well, I never
Inappropriately.
did that, but just like, or making inappropriate jokes on set, just things like that.
Oh, right,
Where
yeah.
you're like, I don't really, like,
Yeah.
I want to go home. Like when I
Right.
was little, I'd be like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to be done now.
And you
Yeah.
would probably cry.
Sometimes.
So the
That-
first Weber thing, you survived it. Did the picture
I
come
did.
out?
No.
So you went through all that for nothing.
No, but I at the same time I thought I had fun on that trip, and I did meet some fun people, and it was a pretty extravagant job to be at
yes,
your
of
first
course,
job. Like, wow, I
absolutely.
got to go.
Yeah.
So many cute boys.
So
there.
Hi, baby. Excuse me. Sorry, Amanda.
No, that's okay.
I think there's another girl downstairs.
There must be.
There must be. One second. Damn, that's never happened before. I thought she was coming later.
Is there another girl?
It was, yeah. Okay, let us resume. So, so we were talking about your start. So, the Bruce Weber Abercrombie and Fitch was the first one, your debut. Were any pictures? Did any
never
pictures
saw
come?
any.
You never saw anything.
I saw.
Did you like with the guy you were hanging out with and being physical with? Did you
He
fancy
felt
him?
weird about it.
Did you think he was cute?
He just was so much older than me.
Right.
He was maybe 24-ish.
Right.
And he
10
was like,
years
are
older.
you okay? And I was like, I don't know.
Oh gosh. But he was sympathetic at least.
Yeah, he felt weird.
He felt awkward and weird
Yeah.
too. So if it feels weird, it probably is.
I mean, a lot of things feel weird when they're like,
First
stick
time.
you know, when you have to make all these
Oh,
facial
right.
expressions.
When you
it
have
feels-
to
yeah.
model, you're saying modeling in itself, in and of itself, is quite a
kind of
weird
a
thing.
weird-
Thing to do.
Where I'm from, it's weird to, like I look so good.
Yes,
and, like,
that's right.
Check me out with all my fancy stuff.
Absolutely.
It's definitely, I've been told many times, like, you have to get over that when I was younger. So,
Your modesty.
yeah, well, I don't know. You just have to find your confidence and put it out in a way that's real. And I was having a hard time doing that for a long time,
right.
but I feel pretty good about myself.
So,
now.
from becoming a model as a teenager, how did that affect your social life, your school life? Were you doing both at the same time? You were modeling on weekends?
I would come out here in the summers, and then if I got a job, I would come out here. So I didn't really talk about it at school or anything like that.
People didn't know?
People knew.
Were you treated differently as a result?
Like, I remember coming into the lunchroom one day and, like, in the cafeteria with all the tables, and all the girls, they all had their 17 magazines out. I don't know, 17 was, like, really big when I was in high school. I was always doing the beauty stuff.
You did? You were a regular.
I was a regular. So when I saw these girls with the 17 magazine and they all looked at me, I was like, oh God, it must have
dropped.
come out. And then, like, I remember a girl that I'd known since I was maybe 4 or 5. I thought we were good friends. She was like, you look really different.
Oh, no.
How long did it take them to make you look like that?
Right.
Like, how much Photoshop do they use?
Oh, wow.
And I was like,
so they were being mean girls.
yeah, I mean, my real true friends I'm still friends with now. But I think, yeah, I had to not talk about it.
And develop a thick skin. Because once it was out, it wasn't a question of you talking about it or not, because they all knew anyway, right?
Yeah, everyone knew, but I was still playing hockey and, like, kind of a tomboy.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really hang around with those girls that were mean to me, so...
Right.
I mean...
Did being a model give you any kind of social cachet with boys and stuff? If boys liked you before, did they really, really like you more now because of the status of being a model?
Not the kind of boy that I would like.
Is that right?
I don't know.
Tell me about that. Who are the kind of boys that you like? Tell us about your love life.
So, I was dating a British guy for a long time.
You were?
And he was also a model, and I think that...
Was he great?
Yeah, he was a great guy. But
Was he your first love?
maybe, like, real one.
Love.
Yeah.
Proper love. How old were you then?
I mean, we just broke up.
Oh, shit.
I met him when I was 21. So... But
So your
anyways,
teenage life was not spent...
I always had a boyfriend.
You always had a
Yeah,
boyfriend.
so that's why I'm trying to, like...
You always had... So it wasn't that you were celibate and abstinent sexually for your teenage years.
Yeah.
It was quite the opposite. You always had a boyfriend.
Yeah, most of
And
the
so...
time. Like a hockey...
hockey
They were
boy.
both hockey players in high school, yeah.
Wicked.
So I'd see them at the arena and then, yeah.
Of course. Is that the equivalent of the American all-American cheerleader with the
Well, we didn't
football
have
star?
cheerleaders.
You were the star because you were. I mean, it was more of an even playing field, right? Because you were playing hockey as well.
I guess, yeah. I just met them at
That
hockey
way.
and
Is
I don't know,
that is that the
it's
type
kinda
that you like now? Because
I don't even know anymore. The guys that approach me knowing I'm a model, I just don't like the approach. Like they think they can buy you or you're going to be impressed by their whatever.
Whatever they're bringing.
It's just weird, you know?
Right.
I wish someone would just maybe not, like, know that I'm a model and then get to know me or something.
So it's important for you, that kind of thing, that you're not just judged for the way you look.
Yeah, and I wouldn't date someone just to, like, further my career or
Right.
whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had a long-term boyfriend, and that has just only recently come to an end.
It's been a few months, yeah.
He was a model. You obviously meet guys on the job.
I guess so.
On the ice or on the set. Well,
guess
where
so.
you going to
I asked him out.
It's the only place you're going to meet guys anyway.
I guess.
Is it an occupational hazard for a girl who likes guys and is and has boyfriends a lot that you are in this industry where there are so many attractive men?
I'm kind of over it, like
You
the
did
male
it.
model thing.
How many male models have you been out with?
Just one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't like them before, and
Why didn't you like them? Define.
okay, I'm not bashing all male models.
No, of course not.
But I haven't really worked with a lot of male models, but the ones I have worked with, I just, there's just nothing. You could, like, they're really attractive, but I'm like...
So they're lacking in other areas, are you saying?
Just, it's weird for a guy to be like, oh, when I see them posing and stuff, I'm just like...
That's
it's
weird
just a little
for you.
bit...
It's
like,
a bit weird.
It's a little off-putting.
For a man to be an object of desire. And a passive
just
object.
to be so, like...
Oh.
You know, can you put some more concealer here and stuff like that? It's
The
just
vanity.
Like, I'm
the
used
vanity
to like
turns you
lumberjack
on.
men from
Right.
Minnesota that like don't have any idea about hair products or
Of course not. As far away
like
as
that.
metrosexuality as it's possible
basically.
to get.
I don't know.
That's
I don't
so
even know
cool.
where I'm at with all that right now.
You don't.
I just know what I don't want is like a pretty polished.
Is that what your English boyfriend
ego
was?
guy. No.
No.
I mean, he dressed very well, but he wasn't. He wasn't like, you know.
So do you know what you're looking for now? You don't. You're over it.
I'm just on my own. I want to like set myself up for the future and I don't know, just reconnect with friends. And
so tell me when you became full-time, because there was this...
Modeling?
Yeah, there was this period where you were a teenager where you'd do it on the weekends and the summers. What was the next step?
I think the day after high school graduation.
Okay, so you weren't going to go to college.
Like, no.
You were waiting for that time.
I went to like a college prep school, so I filled out applications. I did the essays, but I didn't send
you
them.
Didn't want
I
to.
just
you
knew
didn't send them.
I always hated school.
You did?
Yeah. It just was really
You didn't have
not
any
my
favorite
thing.
subjects?
I liked taking French and art.
But you were
other
more
than
active
that,
in sports and stuff.
Yeah, I just then I started modeling and I was too muscular.
Oh yeah, of course. Like a lot of the hockey players and volleyball players.
It's just a bit much.
Yeah, right.
And it takes up a lot of your schedule. I mean, it's every day and then on the weekends. So when I did get a job, I couldn't. And like, should I go to my game or should I go to New York? I don't know, because my whole team will be mad at me if I don't.
Right, you
come
were
to the
split.
game. So I just quit.
Okay.
So
what age did you quit?
I was 15.
Okay. Right.
About to get my dad said if I quit, I couldn't get a car. But then I quit, and he still.
You needed a car. You needed a car. So were your parents together through your teenage years? Because they're not together anymore.
No, they're not anymore.
Did they divorce?
They were. Yes. Like, I think right after high school.
Okay.
Which is good. It's for the best.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
That's good. And they both with the prospective different partners who they're better with?
Better matches, yeah.
And happier both all round?
I think everyone's happier.
Your mum remarried? She's got a boyfriend?
She's not remarried, but she's got a pretty good boyfriend, yeah.
That's so cool. So what's your favourite part of the whole process? And when did you really kind of own being a model? Was it from the beginning? Did you really think, well, this is for me, I can actually make a living out of this, a career out of this?
I mean, I started like being able to really live on my own a few years ago. But I would say I didn't really own it till a couple months ago, really.
Are you joking me?
I mean, on the outside, but on the inside.
You did?
When people come up and they're like, are you a model? And I'd be like, no, I work at, I don't know, Barnes & Noble. I'm not a model.
Are you joking?
I don't know. I just didn't like the conversation after or anything. And now when someone asks me, I'm like, yeah, I am a model. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. So it was just the public face.
I think because my family's in politics. Mm-hmm.
Is Mondale the Mondale?
That's my grandpa, yeah.
Walter Mondale?
Yeah.
Is your grandfather?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
He's the man.
Wicked.
Yeah. He just turned 90.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
He's going strong.
That's political royalty in a sense.
Well, and him and my grandma really didn't want me to be a model. And I felt like there were parts of my family that, put it down. Like,
was that
you're not
right? I was going to
smart,
say.
you're not
I was going
go
to
anywhere.
say. Absolutely.
It's not a real job.
Yes.
And
was there a burden? Was there a burden with the name? Was the family name?
Nobody knows. Like
they didn't make the association.
It's so
I thought
rare.
of it immediately when you said Mondale. That's the immediate association.
Most people think it's Mondale.
That's so funny, and you're Italian.
I'm like, I think you missed
wow.
a chapter in your history book.
That's crazy.
But no, I just think that they wanted me to
be
go
an academic
in that path, and it just it never
a lawyer or a politician.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to be an activist in some way, but I don't want to go to law school and
Right. Okay. So they've come round, or has it been a process of?
I think now that they see that I'm making real money and traveling and enjoying it.
Yes.
I think they are like, wow, kind of impressed.
And 17 magazine wasn't doing it for them back at when you were 14?
Probably not.
That's so sad.
I mean, I know they would share to their friends and
did?
be like, look what our daughter's in the magazine. But they never, they've always been like, okay, but are you going to go to school online. Like,
where are you going
what's
to college?
plan B?
Yes,
and
when's
I still
Yale?
don't know.
Right,
But
right.
I'm gonna
You're
just
searching.
ride it till I
Of course.
can.
That's so good.
I don't know.
That's great. So, does that give you sort of social ease and cachet, or is that always, at the end of the day, a personal thing?
To model or
No, I'm just saying socially, connected with a famous family name, does that open doors, do you think,
No.
if you want to? It hasn't
not
done
for
so.
me.
Okay.
For my brother who wants to be a politician.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely.
Yes, of course.
He's skipped.
He's going
He's
for
like,
it.
Like, I wish my mom was a supermodel or something before. You know what I mean?
Right.
But no. If anything, I think it kind of hurts a little bit. I don't know. I think people then are like,
You're being prejudged a bit. Yes.
let's not have her cleavage showing. It just kind of is a conservative.
Right. Message.
I don't know. I mean, no
Right.
one ever knows. You're like
Right.
one of the
Right.
only people.
So let me look at your book.
Okay.
Let's see what you see. You're so
It's pretty cut down.
It's pared down and very
digitals.
modern. And I must say, they are digitals, and it's very of the. It's very modern, isn't it? It's very of the time.
I guess so.
I mean, because these are kind of cool
Like
urban
vintage
girls.
tees.
Yeah, vintage tees.
I love a good vintage tee.
But you're a bit more polished in a sense.
Sometimes.
Well, you are now, sitting
Right
here.
now.
You're not this girl, are you?
I would say so.
You are,
And
because of the all-American kind of thing.
Yeah, I love a big old t-shirt. Yeah.
Cut off jeans and t-shirts. So it kind of all makes sense.
I've
Wow,
been in
it's-
California for 5 years.
Have you?
So, yeah.
You lived in LA?
Right. Yes.
And there wasn't a feeling that you should be an actor or an actress?
Oh, yeah.
Is that why you were there?
I dabbled in it.
You were
a
there to
little bit.
dabble?
Well, I tried with a private coach a few times, and then
How was that? How is a shy
it was hard for me.
girl gonna do it?
I mean,
Did it help?
they kept saying, "Oh, your voice is
You got
great."
a great voice. You got a great voice.
And then I got a script that was to play a model in the 70s.
Nice.
And I thought that, like,
You're perfect.
I killed that one. But then
Did you do it?
I got other ones, and I had a really hard time.
Did you do the 70s model role?
No, I mean, I just did a self-tape. But we didn't even
okay.
send it because it was
Okay.
my first time
You didn't
trying,
even-
but I got myself to cry.
Okay, so that you used that as an exercise.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the Meisner.
You didn't send the bleeding tape.
No, they said I wasn't ready.
Who's they? Who's
My acting agent or
this?
whoever.
Right.
And then they kept sending me
Did you feel you were not
horrible
ready?
things. Yeah, I was just too nervous. I went in on one, and it was a woman, and I had to pretend she was like my lover,
Oh,
and
right.
I kind of
couldn't
started
do it.
laughing in the middle
You
of it.
did.
I was like, I'm not ready for this.
Eat everything in its own time.
Yeah, I'd like
So is
to
that
try
something that
it
you've
again.
now put back on the back burner and to be revisited later?
Absolutely. I think part of me has always wanted to do it, and
I think
people
you would
keep
have
telling me
you'd
to
have
do
made
it.
a fortune with all of those teen shows.
Maybe it's too late for the teen shows, but
I don't think it's too late for the teens. I always think they're in their 20s. Those teenagers.
that's true. Like High School Musical, they were all like,
That's right. And all the
20s.
vampire ones.
oh yeah, I'm
All
like,
those teen
that
vampire
is
ones.
not a teenager.
Exactly. And nothing
like a
about it.
30-year-old man.
Nothing about it is appropriate.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to try it if, like, they were sending me auditions for like rape scenes.
Oh,
and
nice.
Because I wasn't there yet.
What?
They were sending
So
me.
you were
like,
going to be girl
really-
raped number 3.
And I kept saying, I don't want to. I don't like. Let me do some acting classes. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to be bikini girl number 5.
Right.
So
Okay. So
Yes.
LA was
and then I moved here, so it was
Okay.
kind of like
was LA another sort of learning curve for you because of the town? It's an industry
yeah,
town.
it's a different market, that's for sure. I lived in Santa Monica.
Yes.
I love the beach. I like the lifestyle. but
You were
it's-
there with your
it's
boyfriend?
different. Yeah.
Was he working there too?
A little bit, but he was mostly here.
Okay,
he would
yeah,
do
yeah.
direct bookings and stuff, and I miss it. But it's like more opportunities out
for
here. Yeah, I'm sure I'll wind up back in California.
So how did you go from Click to Ford, and are there any...
Yeah, there were more in between.
There were, I was going to
Yeah,
say.
it's been a long
How do you
journey.
do that? Tell me about how...
Having lawyers in your family helps.
Oh, yeah. That's true, to get out of the contracts.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, so what do you define as a good agent? And when do you believe that you need to leave that agency? At what point?
Well, I don't even think the agency name matters. I think if you find the right people, which I finally have, I think that's all that matters.
The booker who believes in you.
Or the team of people at the agency, if they have the right connections and they really respect you as a human. You know what I mean? And they don't want to just like, you know, get what they can and then throw you out. It's like, let's really work on what's going to make your career last and maybe what you can turn it into. I don't know.
Okay, who can see opportunities for you and how you're going to get them.
But if people, I mean, I have been told many times just things that would make you want to quit. And I'm like, no, I believe in myself. If my booker doesn't believe in me and doesn't think I have a future, then why should I have my life and my career in the hands of that person?
Of course.
And that's a breach of contract.
So this is a technical term. How long did it take for you to realize any of that was happening? In other words?
Too long.
Okay.
So, I mean...
So you persevered in sub-adequate situations, career-wise?
Yeah. I mean, in LA, one of my bookers, this is when I said, I'm gone. He's like, if anything was going to happen, it would have happened by now.
Yeah, that age-old one.
Or like, girls like you are difficult. Girls that look like you are difficult.
Right.
I'm like, okay. I don't know what I've done to... I'm just calling to see my schedule, you know.
Right. So did these sound like they're really quite hard knocks?
I've been through a lot, yeah.
And what gave you the fortitude to persevere through all of that adversity?
It's like do or die. You know what I mean? I'm like, I've committed to being a model. This is the career I chose.
Is that the hockey player in you?
I believe in myself.
Is that the sports
so.
person, the competitive, I have to win this game? And we're down and our back's against the wall, but we have to somehow overcome and triumph.
I guess, yeah, I'm a lot tougher than I look.
You'd call yourself tough.
Yes, yeah.
You're a tough girl.
Yeah.
Hockey player, tough, man.
Yeah. I mean, I've been through a lot of situations that maybe other people would say, okay, this is it, I guess. But
Wow, that's amazing.
I finally found Ford here.
Okay, so how did that happen?
So I switched to Vision in LA, which is like a little boutique agency.
Is that quite a big one?
Them. It's very small. But I freaking love them. They treat me so well. I mean, they check in. And just things that I didn't have before.
So what do you look for in a booker? In that human relationship between you and your professional partner?
Just understanding, you know, what's going on at the shoot. Okay, I'm calling because, you know, this happened with my family, blah, blah, blah. Someone who's going to understand that and respect you instead of saying, oh, well, she's weak. Like, let's dump
care.
her.
So you're looking for some care.
Just mutual respect and, you know, they believe in you.
Right. So have you had bookers who might be really quite good at their job, but because
don't care about me at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And therefore,
happens. At big agencies, they can't.
Yeah.
How can they make sure every single girl is looked after?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So, I mean...
So what do you bring to the table? Okay, let's discuss that. You're all American girl, at a job. Why should I book you over another model? What are your strengths? What are you bringing to the table?
Well, first of all, I'm not a diva at work. I'm not going to complain about anything unless, like, I might die or something.
Right.
If I'm like on a cliff or something.
Yes. Pain of death, but everything else.
I think I'm a nice person to be around.
Yeah. So good energy.
Good energy. I think I'm good at moving and everything. It's taken me a long time to feel comfortable with that.
So you can give a good picture quickly, because that really, at the end of the day, I think is what defines a good model. Is that they can come in, they can understand very quickly
the angles of the lights.
I don't even think it might be as technical as that. Yeah. It's literally just someone who's able to embody,
like
give life to the clothes, make them look great, and take a good picture.
I think I can do that.
And obviously,
if I can't do that by now, I better pick a different job.
For sure.
I mean,
and what's your favorite part of the process of the day?
I love when I first sit down in the makeup chair.
Nice.
And not all makeup artists do this, but sometimes they give you a
little preparation.
Little rub down, and I'm like,
oh my God, they should do that for the photographers too.
I know.
That's so unfair.
Sorry.
Yeah, but you're the talent. You need to be coddled and loved.
I like seeing the clothes before they come out. Mm-hmm. And
the whole preparation.
Yeah, and I love when you get the shot and you see it and it looks awesome, like better than you thought it would.
Yeah,
and people
and you delivered,
like,
and you delivered, and you did your job.
Yeah, that's a good
confirmation
feeling.
of that. Yes,
and traveling.
And the travel. Yeah. Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
So okay, I want to get to Ford. How did we get there?
Well, Ford. Backtrack was the first agency I ever met with.
Ever?
When I was 14.
Wow.
In Chicago.
That's wild.
And they passed. They did not want to sign me.
So Triumph.
But that's Chicago.
It's Triumph.
That's a long time ago.
You won that.
I mean, it's completely different people working there.
Of course.
So.
But it's still the agency.
Still Ford.
Was that important to you?
To sign with Ford?
Yes. Is there something in a name brand?
I didn't even care what agency. I just wanted to find the people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Find your people.
So my bookers in LA were like, okay, this guy's coming to town. Yeah. Because I kept saying, what about New York? What about New York? What about New York?
Is that because you wanted to go back?
I just wanted to go to the next level. Mm-hmm. And they were like, okay, well, this guy's coming in a month. You have to meet him. And then it was like, okay, he's going to be here. And then it was like, okay, you have to come in tomorrow. And I had already been passed up on by a couple agencies. So
New York ones, yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
We'll see. And he just like swooped me up, was like, I fucking love you. Excuse my language.
No, of course.
And he kind of saved me in a way. Quack, do you know Quack?
No, but that's a wicked name.
Yeah, it is.
That's a wild name right there.
I love him. And I love everyone else on the board. Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to Quack, man.
Yeah.
Do we need to turn the aperture up a bit? It's a bit dark, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Shit. For continuity's sake, we're going to keep... I'll do it in post.
Okay.
So Quack saved your career.
I don't know if he absolutely saved it, but he...
responded.
Made me feel like everything I wanted to do and was working for, it was a valid dream that I had.
He restored faith.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's great. So how excited were you when I
got here?
Oh,
I mean,
then
he
because
said
you had
it
to
like
get
right
here.
on the spot. Like,
so you had to
you're
move.
coming to New York. We took a picture together, and then I got here, and
So he took a picture of you.
We took a picture together.
Oh.
Like, let's remember this moment.
Okay.
I was
a
like,
selfie?
Oh, he was, and he was just, right off the bat, I could tell he was like a spiritual guy, just caring and...
That's so nice.
And his thing is just caring about the girls.
That's great. Congratulations, I've got to say.
Yeah, I feel
after that long...
good about it.
That long battle
like 11
to get...
years of like...
Shit, man. But that makes you a veteran. You've learned a few things.
Yeah, I used to get really down about when people would, talk about you like you're not there, or things like that on set. And now I'm just like, okay, whatever. Let's get the picture and let's...
That's so good. You've got a thick skin now, yeah.
They're just talking about...
Yeah, it's not personal.
It's nothing about me at all.
Yeah, unless it is.
Unless they're like, I hate your face. Or
right, because
nonsense, but...
there are people who are actually mean as well.
Absolutely.
And who will be judgmental
But
and
I
critical.
think as you get older, people stop behaving that way in front of you. You would think,
Yes.
mostly.
So, where does this journey go? Oh, before that, let me talk about the end of the journey, or the trans.
I don't even know.
Yeah, exactly. What do you want? What do you want? What is your number one fashion dream? What would it look like? And be very specific.
Like what job do I want, or what do I want in my life?
Photographer, magazine, hair, makeup, client, campaign, brand.
I mean,
If the
I think most girls want to do Victoria's Secret.
You want to do Victoria's Secret?
I would love to.
That is very, very high on most girls'
Absolutely.
list.
So
You want to be a Victoria's Secret angel?
absolutely.
Okay,
I mean, that would
that's
change
number
my
one.
life. It would.
That's number one.
I mean, really, I see myself. I'd like to do more beauty.
Yeah. Now you obviously
campaigns and
have you had a beauty phase, because you started off with
done
the
a lot of
17 beauty thing. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's where there's a wheelhouse in there for you?
I mean, lately I've been doing a lot of
Yeah.
beauty ads and stuff, and
That's what
I want like a contract. Do you know what I mean? I want to be, like
a face off.
I don't want to say someone's name wrong, but there's
Say it anyway.
Emily didn't.
Dionato?
Yeah.
I know. I can't even say it either. She's had a really good career.
Yeah.
With an unpronounceable name.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
It doesn't matter.
I just-
Dionato or whatever.
I look up to her, like her Instagram. She seems really normal and humble, and I like the jobs that she does.
And she's successful, and
yeah.
she's making the cash. So that's important to you, is it?
I mean, it's just something I want, I guess. I just want to be able to, I don't know, travel all the time and maybe do more high-end jobs.
Okay, give me an example.
Like
What that would look like.
Like, I'd love to do like a YSL beauty.
Oh,
thing.
nice.
Like something like that. Like next level kind of thing.
Wicked. That's so good. So you're just along for the journey.
I'd love to do more editorial.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Do you not consider yourself an editorial model?
I definitely feel like my body's different than the girls that I
You're sexy,
See?
shapely.
I just have boobs, really.
Yeah.
And I used to feel
But isn't that
ashamed
the
about
Victoria's
that.
Secret? Isn't that? It's all
Yeah.
boobs. There's a bit of boob going on there.
Yeah, it is. But I wish there were more in editorials. Not more boobs, but just not so skinny.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like really skinny right now. And
You think
I
it's
can't imagine
particularly
getting
skinny?
smaller.
You think it's particularly skinny in this era?
Well, I think it's a lot of younger girls.
What
and
about
their
the plus
body
size
types
models,
different.
though?
I think that's great.
Yes,
There needs
contrast-
to be just more different people.
The diversity.
Yes. Different body
Absolutely.
shapes, different looking people.
And I think even in Victoria's Secret, they're adopting
Yes.
a very diverse
Yes.
lineup.
It's still the same body type, though.
Is it really?
I think, all of them seem to have,
I
like,
see.
the same
I see. But maybe
shape.
ethnically diverse,
Yeah,
but
yes.
it's still a sort of...
Like, I'd love to see them have a plus size or multiple plus size models.
And someone like Ashley Graham hasn't worked for them yet.
I don't think so.
Right. That is looking like it could happen
Absolutely.
at some point. It's not
I don't
unimaginable
I think
at
people
all.
want to see that, too.
Yeah. And your body is, let's face it, for most of the male population, preferable.
Maybe. I guess so. Yeah.
For your average hockey playing man out there in Minnesota, he would choose you over a skinny YSL girl every day of the week.
probably.
No doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. So I think, yes, I think what you see now perhaps as an impediment or a weakness is actually going to be a strength, because I do believe that those kinds of the swimsuit, sexy. What's the other one? There's Victoria's Secret, and then there's the Sports Illustrated girls.
Yeah.
Now those Sports Illustrated girls are...
That's a lot. I'd probably be the most conservative one on set. I don't know. Just some of the pictures, I'm like, I don't know if I could do that.
Well,
That
there you go.
pose.
Well, that is
be another one.
that is the real impediment there. It's a
Maybe.
mental impediment. I believe so, because I think as long as you remain ambivalent about it, why should you get it? You have to freaking believe.
I believe I could do it.
I don't think there's a difference between Victoria's Secret angels parading down the runway with their boobs and bums out, and Sports Illustrated. In my mind, it's exactly one and the same. No, totally. It's a kind of glamour girl.
Curvy.
Who the
Sports Illustrated.
But that.
And it's a bit more. Like, I feel like Victoria's Secret is like for women. Like, women are buying it, but Sports Illustrated, I'm like, woo!
It's for the boys.
Like, a little bit.
That's great, though. There's money in that.
No,
those girls are not
like
famous.
That. I'm just saying.
You would
probably...
do it like that. No, but I want you to own wanting to do it like that. Because at the moment you're saying, oh, I don't really want to do it. You're saying, I don't really want to do those poses. I don't really want to be that. And as long as you're saying you're not going to really want to be it, it's not going to happen. You gotta be one of those girls who come in owning it and want it. It's mine for the taking. So I think...
I guess you're right there.
I really do believe. Because those girls are sort of very obvious when they walk into a room. Mm-hmm. I photographed girls like Rosie Huntington-Whiteley and Stella Maxwell. And those girls they are sexy.
Yeah.
They just are.
Yeah.
It's obvious.
Yeah.
And they like it.
Yeah.
And they're enjoying it. And there's no sort of... it's unapologetically so. You freaking got to be it.
Yeah.
To do it. The ballerinas can't play hockey.
No. I could definitely do it. And I can see myself doing it. But there would probably, like, the whole, like, bending over with, like, your... I don't know. There's just, like, one line that I'd be like, okay. Enough. Like, we don't need to see what everything is underneath.
But it's so funny how we live today in such an exposed, pornographic...
Maybe that's...
is it pornographic when the woman is owning it herself? Someone like Emrata, what's her name? Emily Ratajkowski. She's got another unpronounceable name.
If you feel beautiful doing it and it empowers you,
that's right. The empowering of it, but you don't, and that's the problem.
I would. I'm just saying, like, I'm not going to show my whole...
You're not going to show your breasts?
Just covering...
You're not going to be a topless model?
No. I think that
Isn't Sports Illustrated, there's toplessness, is there somewhere?
I don't even know.
I don't
That's
know.
just the line for me.
But maybe that's gone away anyway, because I believe...
Like in America, I don't think...
I think it's the needle has going the other way with Me Too and all the rest of it. But again, looking at Instagram, you would never believe that.
Instagram, I mean, there's Instagram models, there's
there
so
are
many different types
but
of
it's
models.
an amazing time for that because those Instagram models, that's real.
I mean, and it's hard. Instagram is hard. I really struggle with it.
You do? You're not showing your boobs enough.
No, definitely not.
No, it's really simple as that.
I know.
Do you want lots of followers?
Most of my followers are women.
Take pictures of yourself in bras and panties in front of a window, and you'll have hundreds of thousands of followers. I guarantee it.
I guess in my downtime, I never...
You're not owning it.
I'm not. But I struggle using my phone.
Yeah.
I'm like my mom. I'm like, what is...
You're a bit technophobic. It's not natural for you.
It's not. Sometimes I ask my friend, can you take a picture? And then, like, my friend is the same way. And it's, like, bad lighting and, like, crooked. And I'm like, okay, let's just go out.
It's not a natural fit. But do you think that you have to do whatever's required to overcome that?
Yes.
In order to succeed in the current climate where those things are the norm.
I need to get over it and just start posting all the time.
And take your clothes off.
It's been a little chilly the last
Yes,
couple
I
months.
agree. but when you're in this, I mean, California would have been the place to do it.
Yeah, I mean,
you didn't.
Haven't been there.
Right.
And I was resisting Instagram.
You're resisting. There's a resistance. That's the thing. You've got to give that up.
I know.
You really have to. In that respect, you got to be a real Piscean in that one.
Yes.
And fucking give it.
Well, and I've had clients, like photographers, she told me, we couldn't book you for the campaign because you don't have enough followers.
It's as simple as that.
And I was like,
isn't that...
Wow.
That's harsh,
That's when
isn't
I was
it?
like...
Wake up.
Oh my God, it's
That's
time.
a wake-up call.
I need to start doing it.
It's almost time to start buying them at that point.
Maybe. I mean, because I think it's kind of obvious when you buy them.
because of the lack of
When
comments.
there's a lot and
bots
there's like
and
20 likes. With like
right. That makes sense.
20,000 followers.
That makes sense. Are you more likely to get people, genuine followers, coming along though, if you've got your magical 10 and above that? That would seem normal. That would seem the minimum, don't you think?
Like, sometimes when someone doesn't have a lot of followers, I don't want to follow them because they'll notice
Yeah.
I'm following them. But if
Oh,
they have a
wow.
lot, it's like, why not? Just
Okay.
add one more. They'll never notice.
It's so funny. Apparently, in fashion branding and marketing, they're targeting much more the 10,000 to 100,000 micro influencers, they're called. Because when you have 10 to 100,000,
That's micro?
It's micro, yeah.
Oh, God,
I
I've got a
know.
long way to
Micro
go.
influencers.
Okay.
So their followers are real and their followers are a bit more passionate
Okay.
than
more
someone
loyal.
who's so famous that it doesn't
Like
matter
5
anymore.
million.
It's everybody. And
Yeah.
therefore it's not as specialist. You're not selling a specific
like
thing
a
to
specific
Yeah.
style.
So you've got some more work to do. And that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
You're not coasting. There's nothing to coast for. There's still all to play for in this game.
I
It's
still have
not
a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
I'm working on my book. I want to travel.
I like the
soon.
stripped down book.
Thank you. I mean, we kind of had to. LA is so different.
How long have you been with Ford now then? Is this a honeymoon
Since-
period with Quark?
Yeah, we're still on the honeymoon.
That's great.
I think I got here in September, so.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so two things. What is your philosophy of life? What is all this about? What is living about for you?
It's a deep question.
It's a deep question. What makes you happy is another question.
Okay.
In your own time.
Well, I think like
What's the meaning of life?
the meaning of life to me is kind of, well, right now I'm still finding myself. I think it's important to,
Know thyself.
yes, definitely get to know yourself, what you like, what you stand for,
Yeah.
what you don't. And
Is life a process of self-discovery?
absolutely. I think it never ends. Figuring yourself out. That's
Right.
what my grandma said.
Yeah, that's very wise words.
Yeah, and I think that just finding what makes you happy, what makes you you, and I guess what makes me happy is spending time with real friends and real family and kind of shutting down.
Okay. Relationships.
Just
Intimacy?
Well, no, just I put my phone away. I really
you like
like to be
space.
there. I don't need a lot of friends, but
You want to
the
be present.
good ones. Yeah, being present.
Yeah.
I've been working a lot on that.
Okay.
So
Because you're Piscean and unchained.
I guess
You know, it's
I've-
from the little I know about astrology, and I'm getting into it more and more, is that Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, and therefore the most spiritual. That you've gone through all of the rest of the zodiac to get there, and that
really?
at that point you're almost out of the human body. You've transcended all of this, so you're floating around in the
I am
universe.
quite a dreamer. I don't know. I guess Pisces are very mellow. And like
Are you, Mella?
I'm pretty mellow. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even know.
Do you have any advice, if anyone's watching? I hope somebody watches this. A young model, aspiring model, about what they should do, think about, and how to approach this funny old game of fashion.
Bring your parents.
Bring your parents
When you're
if you
under
can,
18, if you can.
and
bring your
don't be
parents.
embarrassed to have your parents there,
Yes.
because
Well,
you
that's hard.
You sent them away.
Yeah, I would just listen to your parents. Don't do something you're uncomfortable with. Definitely find your people that care about you. Don't just sign with a big name because it's a big name. You know, you can get lost. And have fun.
Yeah.
Be yourself.
Yeah.
Don't compare yourself to other girls. Then you're just gonna go down the oh
chute.
God.
Yeah.
Don't look too hard at other girls' Instagrams, because sometimes when you're not working and other girls are flying around, you start to get
Yeah.
in your head. Just really be yourself. If you don't know who yourself
Find
who
yourself.
you are yet, work on that and just own it.
That's great advice.
Absolutely.
So wise. I want you to take that advice yourself
I will.
and own it more.
Yeah.
And you're great.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed talking with you today. And thank you for
too.
giving so much of yourself. I'm going to do some more
course.
questions coming.
Okay.
But for now, Amanda
Yeah.
Mondale, thank you so much for coming and sharing yourself
Thank
today.
you.
Bye-bye, everybody. See you again soon.